And here we are once again. We are the Vinyl Community Guncles with episode number 40. We've done this
Oh
39
my!
times at this point, but now we've saved the best until episode 40. It's the music of 2006.
The best.
Yeah, and the worst too.
Yeah, and
A
and
lot
the,
of bad.
and the bottoms. And
I'm sure the
yeah.
bottoms it'll be bottom heavy. Tops and bottoms of the music of 2006 and an album review from 1967. It's the band Kaleidoscope from the UK, and Tangerine Dream is the album. So that's all coming up. We are the Vinyl Community Guncles. I'm Robert Fitton, along with Richard from Calvin Wazoo, Mike from Hubtunes, and Craig, who is advertising Danny After Dark from Craig's Vinyl Plethora with his new
That's
headphones.
me. Yeah,
Are those Beats?
I don't know what
Because
they
that
are.
would be very 2006.
It says pow.
Oh, wow. So
I don't know what that is, but they are, but they look cool, right? And hopefully I sound better than I normally do. So
Sounds good.
we'll find
Okay.
Headphones would determine how you hear. Anyway,
out. Well, no, but it's got the mics in it.
oh, you have mics in your ears.
Yes. Yeah. I've got Mike here in my ear. See, blush.
Speaking of Mike, I think he's first with his tops of 2006.
I am. Okay. So when 2006 was drawn, I think we were all kind of like, ooh,
Yeah, because I suggested we should stop at 1994, but
Well, it turns out that 2006 was a pretty big year for me in music. That was the very first year I attended South by Southwest. I still have all my party passes and badges and everything, and it was a huge year for me. As I dug into 2006, I was like, wow. If anyone who's never been to South by Southwest, it is. I don't know what it's like anymore. I haven't been since 2010, but back in the mid 2000s, it was the industry music festival. You get up and comers, people who are bands and artists that are not signed to labels. Sometimes you get like older groups who just want to play small clubs. It's a great time, and you pay. Well, back then it was like $300, and you get a free pass to go in anywhere. It was great. But that was a wonderful. I'll get into that in a little bit, but I do have some honorable mentions because I don't have these on vinyl. But a band called The Knife released a wonderful record called The Silent Shout. It was a terrific record. TV on the Radio, Return to Cookie Mountain was great. Grizzly Bear, Yellow, Cat Power, The Greatest, a wonderful record. My favorite Yola Tango record is I'm Not Afraid and I Will Beat Your Ass. Cold War Kids were really kind of big. Robbers and Cowards. The Raconteurs had a huge album, Jack White's best band, Broken Boy Soldiers. Beck had Information. That was a terrific Beck album. Regina Spektor had Begin to Hope. So those are a couple of honorable mentions. And then I pulled some records. This is a wonderful.
Nice.
It's not nice.
My serious. Shut up. So a bunch of these are bands I actually saw at South by Southwest. This is a wonderful singer-songwriter. He is now teamed up with was it Zoe Deschanel for She and Him. This is M. Ward. This is post-war. This is my favorite M. Ward record. He played in a church and at South by Southwest. There's music everywhere. It's on street corners. It's in cafes. It's in restaurants. It's in theaters and music clubs. And every church opens their doors and cool bands. He played acoustic. He did a show with Jim James from My Morning Jacket. It was a wonderful show. This is a terrific singer-songwriter, a little acoustic-y sounding record. Really good. This Scottish band was there. I don't know why they were there. They played some of the bigger venues, and that was Bell and Sebastian. I loved this record. When this came out, I could not stop playing this. This is a Life's Pursuit. It's a great record, isn't it? I don't think it gets enough love in their catalog. People seem to.
My favorites.
Yeah, mine too. Really terrific
I'm
record.
familiar with them.
They're
They're really good. Yeah, the lead singer's having some health issues. They had to cancel their U.S. tour but they're great live. They're really good live. I don't know if they're going to reschedule it or what's going on. You guys know, I'll show Gary Newman. This is Jagged. This is I think I've shown this before. This is my white autograph copy that I bought. Somebody actually autographed the vinyl. Stupid. But this is Jagged. This is more of the 9 Inch Nails Newman. It's very industrial, very electronic, really cool stuff, but just the beginning of his reinvention. Terrific record. Craig will know this. The Elected. Members of Rilo Kiley. This is a terrific, folky, poppy, very Fleetwood Mac-ish. Just a
That's
fun,
their best
light
album.
It is their best album.
Yeah, I like it better than the first one.
Yeah, Sun is the name of it, and it's terrific. It's just upbeat. It's folky. It's a happy record. It really is. It just puts you in a great mood. This is another band that was at South by Southwest. This is a band called the Eddies, Ettes. They are a power punk band. I don't know if they're still around. They may not be, but they put on a great show. I remember it was like 2 a.m, and they came on, and everybody they blew the roof off the club that they were at. It was a really good time. I'm not sure even where they're from. I think they might be British. I'm not sure, but the Eddies, really, really cool. This is a band called Loose Fur. This is a Wilco side project of Jeff Tweedy and a bunch of other people. Pretty cool record. Kind of inconsistent. It's not. Am I holding it wrong? It's a little inconsistent. It's not. It's got a couple of good moments, and then it kind of loses you. I saw members of this, and Craig will know this also, but Rabbit Fur Coat, Jenny Lewis, and the Watson Twins. I saw the Watson Twins at South by Southwest in 2006. Really wonderful show. The Watson Twins have beautiful, beautiful voices. They still make solo records. I highly, highly recommend if you like that country folk rock sound. This is my favorite Jenny Lewis record. Really, I think we reviewed this, right?
No, we did something from her.
Yeah.
No, we did.
We did Rilo Kiley. Yeah, we didn't review this. No. But wonderful, wonderful record. Definitely my favorite of hers. And then my highlight of 2016 or 2006, and my highlight of South by Southwest that year. My friend Bruce, rest in peace. We were roommates, and we were concert buddies, just going from show to show, and we had our lists and our notebooks of who we're going to see at what time and everything, and bouncing from venue to venue. And I remember we were walking down 6th Street, and I said to him, "Who's on your list to see next?" And he's like, "Oh, there's this girl from England. She's like all the rage. We got to go see her." And she was playing this tiny little club called La Zona Rosa, maybe 400 people at the most it holds. Great venue. It's no longer there. And I was like, he's like, "But I think I need to get there early in line." And I said, "Okay." So I was like, "Yeah, I'll go with you." I didn't know who this girl was. Well, Amy Winehouse hadn't even come out in the United States yet. Rehab was starting to get a little bit of airplay, but nobody knew who she was. And so nobody knew what would end up happening to her. I mean, her life was obviously tragic, and I don't have to go into all that. But this show, one of the concert highlights of my entire life. I've seen hundreds and hundreds of concerts. She came out and absolutely blew the roof off the place. Just unbelievable. The Sharon Depp and the Depp Kings were her backup band, and they were terrific. Amy was spectacular, absolutely spectacular. The Beehive is out of control, and she's got Jack and Coke, I'm assuming, and she's slamming it. But she was long before she really got into the heavy drugs and stuff. And I'm telling you, she was a treasure, absolute treasure. And this album, really, really good. And that was 2006 for me. I was surprised. There was actually a few more things I probably could have thought of, but yeah, that's that.
All right.
That Amy Winehouse album too, so it's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I had never heard any of her music when I walked into that club that night, and wow, absolutely spectacular.
Well, I was working in country radio in 2006 in St. Louis on one of the 2 country stations, And when we did 2005, I was able to actually pick, what was it, 5 or 10? I don't remember if it was 5 or 10 tops for the country radio singles of the year. And for 2006, I was not even able to do that. I came up with 2. One was Life Ain't Always Beautiful from Gary Allan, and that's more of a circumstantial thing. And I don't even remember what the other one was. Wow, did the bottom fall out of country radio. So I decided to go with a completely different thing for my tops. Here are 10 albums that I would like to hear at one point.
Oh.
My top 10 for 2006 that I've always
That's a great
meant
idea.
to listen to at one point, because I have not heard any. I've heard one album that came out in 2006, and that was Tool, 10,000 Days.
And not their best.
I was right, and I just was not into rock music at that. Rock's pretty much gone at that point, and definitely was not into pop music. Was not going out that much to clubs yet, so I would taken a break from that, being in country radio, going to a lot of country bars, hearing the same music I'm playing on the radio, and so these are 10 albums that I'd like to hear at one point. That came out in 2006. Comets on Fire with Avatar. They're apparently like a stoner rock, psychedelic rock band. So is Witch with their self-titled album called Witch. Okay, no?
Great album.
Okay, good. In the comments, let me know if anybody's heard any of these, because, which ones should I... Maybe, you don't want to listen to that. And, of course, the 3 Guncles. But can also chime in. But... you don't want to listen to that, or that's awesome. Beck the Information. I think you just mentioned that, right?
Yeah.
Beck the Information.
Terrific.
I hear about these this group, but I only know the one about something about Soft Shoe. I don't want to dance tonight or whatever. The Scissor Sisters and Ta-Da.
Great album. Great album.
I don't know. Prince with 3121. Never heard that. The Black Angels, who I've just connected with on Instagram. We're like Instagram friends. I don't know which Black Angel I'm talking to, though. The Black Angels, they had an album. I didn't realize they were out this early. They had an album called Passover.
They were at South by Southwest that year, too. I saw them.
The Black Keys actually had 2 albums out, so I'd like to hear those. I would like to revisit Tool 10,000 Days, because I haven't heard it in well over 10 years. And Muse with Black Holes and Revelations.
Their best.
That would be my 10 albums I'd like to hear at one point from 2006. And no, I have nothing to show, obviously, because I don't have any of those albums.
Right.
Good times.
That's good. I like that twist. That was good.
That was good.
Thanks.
I haven't even thought about that Muse record in a long time. My ex was really big into Muse. He had all the Muse vinyl, and of course he took them.
Is that the one with their big song on there where it's like...
Supermassive Black Hole.
Yeah.
No, it's the one after that where it's the really big one. I can't think of what it's called. It's like I'm losing control, or I'm gonna explode.
Well,
I bet that's expensive on vinyl.
Yeah.
Most of these would be, unless they've been reissued, because you were talking...
It's been reissued.
17 years ago. So when nobody was really buying vinyl like they are now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, madness.
Well, I did
Madness
anyway.
Madness.
Yeah. I did something similar with my honorable mentions for albums, because I've got really nothing when it comes to singles. I wasn't listening to singles. I mean, I was going to the clubs. But so many songs get recycled, with different mixes, so they're not really songs from that year. But I made a list of honorable mention albums of 2, 4, 6, 7. And these are albums I would like to own. One of them being the one that Robert mentioned, the Black Angels, Passover. I would really like to get that. I have 2 Black Angels albums, and I really, really do like them. I would like to get Meds by Placebo. I have their first one, but I don't know anything about that one, so I don't know. I saw the grimace from Robert. He must be.
Well, I don't know about that album, but Placebo's horrible. But I don't know that particular.
Placebo's great.
Corey loves
Is it the one
Placebo.
with
They're actually going to be in
Pure
Chicago
Morning
in a
or
couple
whatever
months.
that was? Pure Morning. Is that them? A friend
I,
indeed is a friend with wheat. Is that them?
I,
Or no?
I don't
I
recognize that.
I don't recognize that song, but
Okay.
No.
Maybe I'm thinking of
Corey
somebody
loves
else.
them. He wants to go see them. They're going to be in Chicago this spring.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because I know
Yeah,
with their
they're
latest
at this.
release, they sort of changed their. They wanted to kind of change their image a little bit, as from what I understand.
Yeah, I haven't
Um,
listened to them in years.
yeah, I only have their eponymous release, with Nancy Boy and that, which is just a great one. I'd love to get Adrian Belew side 3. He had a release called Side 3, and just about everything Adrian Belew has released on his solo career is good. It's all very different. And this is a late
Very.
album. I have his 80s material, but something from 2006, that would be interesting. I used to have the album St. Elsewhere by Gnarls Barkley because of the
Mm,
single Crazy. I just
yeah.
loved that song, and the album wasn't that bad, but I had it on CD, and I pretty much only listened to Crazy and maybe one or two other songs.
they also covered the Violent Femmes on that album.
On St. Elsewhere? Oh, I was
Yeah,
gonna
they
try to
did. They
remember.
did. Yeah, they did. Gone, Daddy, Gone.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Um,
Femmes is better.
then the Boards of Canada released
mm,
Trans Canada Highway. I would
Trans
love to
Canada.
get
Yeah.
that. And then of course, No Means No. There's it's on my want list, but it's a very expensive record to get on vinyl. And that's All Roads Lead to Ausfahrt. So I would love to get that one, but that's like $100 record, and so I don't know. I got to wait for that to come down. And the one record I still need to get for my Bad Brains collection is Live at CBGB 1982. That was released in 2006. So those are the ones I would like to have. Now the albums that I do have from that year that I think I'm very glad that they are in my collection. First one is this 12-inch single, Dance for Life. This is DJ Tiesto with Maxi Jazz.
Yeah. You've shown that before.
Yeah, really, I just found this in a record store in Jefferson City, Missouri. And I thought it was just the cover, for sure, that I picked it up. But it's a really good dance mix. I really like it. And let's see, Arctic Monkeys. They had this album in 2006. Whatever people say I am is what I am not. Really good record. Just from start to finish, it just jams all the way. Love the label, Cigarette Butts.
I think that's their best record. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I do like that one.
Yeah,
It's definitely my favorite.
I haven't bothered to pick anything else up by them because it's one of those, it's just, this is all I need by the Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah.
What I was listening to before we started today is this CD, The Decemberists, The Crane Wife. Just really, it's been a while since I listened to it. Really good record. A lot of really good kind of long songs that are, big stories.
Folky storytelling.
Yeah. And,
it's a fun record.
And I forgot how long it is. It's a single CD, but it would probably be a double record on vinyl because it's like 70 some odd minutes long.
I saw them on that tour and they played the whole record.
Oh, that would have been really nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And then was what's her name? Was Jenny Connelly with them?
Yeah.
At that time?
I think so.
She does some singing on this, but she doesn't always have lead vocals with some of their other records.
She was more in front during the live performance.
Yeah.
So he kind of stepped back a little bit, and she
is on this too with some of the songs. And then this one here that Robert mentioned, "Tada" by Scissor Sister. This has got some of my favorite Scissor Sister songs on here, and a friend of mine bought this for me when he was visiting Wales, and he stopped in London and checked out some record stores, and that's where he found it. So this is a double record set, but Kiss You Off, but Everybody Wants the Same Thing is really my favorite song on the entire album. It's a closer on it. I love the refrain. I love the story that goes with it. And I just found out recently that the records that were released on CD, Night Work and Magic Hour, they're available on vinyl now.
For $500.
Well,
yeah, I mean they were.
I think you can find them cheaper than that because a friend of mine has copies of them, and he's really cheap.
I have not been able to find them cheaper than that. Both of them I saw when they came out, and yeah, it would have been in like $25 then. But I
don't know where he picked them up, but
yeah, I've looked recently, and they're like in the hundreds.
Spent hundreds of dollars for them.
Yeah,
I have to give that record another chance. They kind of lost me after the first album. I need to revisit that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, like I say, this is, the first album is really good, but this is also got the single hit, I Don't Feel Like Dancing, She's My Man. So Intermission, I love Intermission. That is such a great song. There's so many of the songs that are kind of existential in a way, the way they are singing about life, and here's your chance to live, which was also kind of a theme last night at the concert. You want to live, because you're going to be dead a lot longer than you're going to be living.
True.
That's true. That is true.
Those are my tops for 2006.
Interesting.
Me?
Craig, it's you.
All right. So I'm doing albums this time because I just could not come up with a top single list, but albums was pretty easy. I have honorable mentions and then I have a top 12. Okay. So honorable mentions: Lee Nash with Blue on Blue. Lee Nash is the lead singer for Sixpence None the Richer. This was her first solo record and her best. Ray LaMontagne released Till the Sun Turns Black. And that was better than his second album, but still not as good as the first. Damien Rice also released 9, which is not as good as O, but it's still pretty good.
It's still really good. Yeah.
There's really, and then his third one, and he's only had 3 albums. Nelly Furtado with Loose, because I love that record. Morrissey did Ringleader of the Tormentors. The Decemberists, The Crane Wife, and then Nellie McKay with Pretty Little Heads. And if you never heard of Nellie, she's really, really cool. She's kind of a folksy, weird character. And she had like Katie Lang on this record with her and Cyndi Lauper. And she's just, Nellie McKay's just fantastic. So I wanted to mention her, but I think most of those are not available on vinyl. So with number 12, this gal, oh look, there she is again, Amy Winehouse. I remember
that too because I had that record. It's such a good record.
Yeah, it really is good. And I actually almost I think her first album was called Frank, and I actually like it a little better. That's got like Fuck Me Pumps and my favorite Amy Winehouse song, Amy, Amy. But there was just something about this, and when it came out, just kind of it was very appropriate to my life, I guess, at the time. I'm trying to think. I haven't listened to it in a long time. The title track, Back to Black, is just incredible. I love Love is a Losing Game. You know me, sappy, pathetic love songs, or miserable, I'm a miserable human being song. I'm like all over that shit. So number 11. There's a record you want to listen to, Robert? I was laughing a lot. Prince. So 3121. This was probably one of his best out of his recent albums.
I've never heard that either. I'd like to hear it.
Yeah. The title track is really good. I don't really quite get Don't You Want to Come, 3121. I don't really get what it's about, but half of the time I don't get what Prince is singing about. So Black Sweat was a single, which is really good. Lolita. The Word is another song I really, really enjoy off of that. Um, Ta-da! I've got it too. So yes, I don't know what more I can say about Ta-da, other than why do you have a song called Paul McCartney? Whatever. Kiss You Off. Ooh, yeah. I love I Don't Feel Like Dancing. That's my jam. The first record, way better. And the two after this, they're okay. But like as quality, this is kind of the end of it for them. This groovy little band, and I don't really know how to say their name. I think it's a Nouvelle Vogue, Vague. This is Band Apart, and what they are is they're like a bossa nova group, and they do all covers, but they do like new wave. So it's got covers of The Killing Moon, Ever Fallen in Love, Yaz's Don't Go, Dancing with Myself, Heart of Glass, Blue Monday, Bella Luisi's Dead, Fade to Gray. I mean, but they're like these bossa nova, like weird, like kind of.
I've seen that record.
It's actually they've had like 3 or 4. They have a really cool cover of The Forest, which is not on this record, but you wouldn't think it would work with like that. It's very, like I said, it's very bossa nova, very French, but they sing in English. Some of their songs are in French. This band did something a little different this year. Erasure released Union Street, and this is an acoustic album. So they went back and took a bunch of their catalog and did all acoustic versions of it. So you've got cellos and guitars and violins, and it's absolutely brilliant. I actually saw them on this tour, and my favorite show of theirs. I'd seen them do all their dancey electronic shit before this, several times after, and this was my favorite time seeing Erasure. It was really cool to see Vince Clarke playing a guitar and kind of saying that, oh yeah, the guy actually is a musician. He actually can play instruments, and it's just the way they recreated these songs and kind of made them acoustically, I think is brilliant. So that came out that year. My British bitch. So there's no real cover, but this is Lily Allen, because it's the promo thing. She had a big hit single that year called Smile, another song called London, LDN, and Not Big, which you can imagine with the title called Not Big, what she's singing about. But I love Lily Allen. I think she's absolutely brilliant, and she's just very British. I don't know what else to say.
She was also at South by Southwest.
Oh, was she? I think she's fantastic. I think she's her second record I actually like the best out of her catalog, but that one's still pretty good. So number 6, Muse with Black Holes and Revolutions. So there's another one there. Supermassive Black Hole was the first song I ever heard by them, and this is a brilliant record. I think the one after this I liked, and then I just kind of lost interest with them after that. This record was really, really, really good. And then the one after was pretty good. And then, I just kind of lost interest. And then, give me shit all you want, and I don't care. But they released this album this year of the Dixie Chicks, who are now known as the Chicks. But they had quite a bit of a hiatus there for a while. And they released Taking the Long Way, which that was a single. Not Ready to Make Nice was also another one. There's a song on here called Silent House, and it just resonates with me very well. It's whatever the lead singer of Crowded House, actually, I can't remember what his name is, but he co-wrote it with them.
Neil Finn.
Yeah, so he co-wrote the song Silent House, and I believe it's about either his mother and Natalie's grandmother who had Alzheimer's. And it's kind of talking about how, the house was just so full. And so before this disease happened to her, and then how silent it was now because the person that they knew is no longer there anymore. And because that's, what my mother passed away from, that the song it resonates with me. And probably my favorite track of this. There's also a song called Lullaby that is just absolutely incredible. It's one of my favorite albums of theirs.
I really want to get some Dixie Chicks into my collection. I don't have any, and I really, really would like to get
They did a release of all their albums back in 2016. I don't know what's available anymore. And then now with the name change and stuff, you'll see some that most of these are still going to say Dixie Chicks on them, but now that they're the Chicks, I don't know that I'm ever going to call them the Chicks. But this record came out that year, and I think it's brilliant. It's actually the only one I really like of his. So John Legend released Once Again. Save Room was this big single off of this, but there's a song called oh shit, what's the name of it? Some gold vinyl. PDA, we just don't care. Let's go to the park and we're gonna fuck, basically. I think John Legend has such a beautiful voice. He kind of, again, after this record, he just kind of lost my interest. This one is brilliant. The ones after, I was like, there's a few songs here or there that I like, but yeah, this was his second album. Let's see. At number 3, Placebo with Meds. So I was just giggling when you guys were mentioning all this stuff. So we're blurred out there. Don't worry, we're blurred out. That's not what you're thinking. All right. So and Alison Mosshart, which I cannot. What band is she from? Is she
The
from?
Kills.
Thank
The
you.
Kills, and she's in Dead Weather. Too.
Dead Weather.
Jack White.
Yeah. So the title track "Meds" is with her, and
Oh, really?
I love that song so much. Michael Stipe actually makes an appearance on this record as well.
She's absolutely fantastic. If you ever get a chance to see her live, her stage presence, her control of the audience is unbelievable. She's really talented.
Really.
Live, she is so damn good. Yeah.
On the digital version, there was actually a cover of "Running Up That Hill," which they did a really good. It's not on the vinyl version, but there's this song on here called "Follow the Cops Back Home," which is just like incredible. Infrared was another single off of here. There's a song called Drag. I think it's a brilliant record. It's the only Placebo that I own. But it's my favorite out of their catalog. This brilliant piece of work came out that year, and this was their third record, I believe, or second. It's either the second full length, because I think there was 2 EPs, an album. It's second or third, I can't remember. But Gossip released "Standing Way of Control," and so brilliant. Their style changed after this record. It went more like electronic, but this is like total like pop punk. Like this is just brilliant. Your Mangled Heart, that song, like, and then Listen Up. The title track.
Beth Ditto's voice.
Beth Ditto is
she's just unbelievable.
And look at her hairy armpits there. She's just freaking brilliant. And
yeah, she is.
We've not heard anything from her in quite a while.
No,
I need some more Beth in my life. So
I
her solo record.
I saw her about 5 years ago live, and she was wonderful. She was really wonderful and funny. She just cracking the audience up in between songs and stuff. She was great, and that voice is real, man. She belts it out.
And of course, my number one release that came out in 2006, and nobody's surprised, and it's so nice.
I know what it is.
I have it twice. Jenny Lewis and the Watson Twins, Rabbit Fur Coat. I've got a red one and I've got a black one. So I've got the original one on the Love Waves, and then, or no. This one's on Love Wave. This was on her Bright Eyes label, Team Love. So, yes.
She's the little girl that cut off Rose's teddy bear's ear.
Yes, she is. You won't let that go, will you?
You're never going to let that go.
I'm just telling you people who she is in case they don't know, but they know.
Well, they should know who Jenny.
I mean, she was an actress. It wasn't like, she did it herself. Her character did it.
I know, but you seem to think that she did it herself. So that is my tops of 2006.
All
right.
I got 2 bottoms. Mostly I only have 2 because, man, I didn't know a lot of this stuff. I was going through like the top.
About.
I didn't know. I didn't know a lot of stuff. So the New York Dolls reformed this year, and They released an album called One Day It Will Please Us, and it sucked. And then a band I cannot stand, not as much as Phil Collins, not as much as
Peter Cetera.
Peter Cetera. The band Phoenix was everywhere in 2006.
Oh.
They released an album, It's Never Been Like That. I cannot stand Phoenix. I cannot stand his voice. It grates on me. It is
I like
awful.
them.
Oh, God, I can't stand it. I just... And that's all I got. It was not... There was a lot of bad. But mostly bad because I don't know it. I don't know any of it. So I don't want to like trash it. I could.
Much of it was so. It sounded all the same. So many.
Yes,
a lot of it.
It just there was no originality. It was everybody just doing the same shit over again.
Yeah. I was in, like I said, I was in country radio, and last time we did 2005, I was able to come up with some decent songs, but I could not do that for. It was all horrible, all of it, with the exception of like 2 songs. You had Rascal Flatts. You know, they had Me and My Gang, like they're in a gang. They redid Life is a Highway, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
They did What Hurts the Most. What hurts the most?
Yep.
Now, I don't want to brag.
Fucking singing.
You singing hurts.
Yeah. But I feel like I need to show something because I haven't showed anything yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to show my autographed Rascal Flatts CD.
I'm so jealous of you.
Yeah, Rascal Flatts horrible. I told the story about how Gary Lavelle got his name.
Mm-hmm.
You had Josh Grayson with a song called Favorite State of Mind. I think he was on American Idol maybe or something like that.
Yep.
And what it is it's his favorite state of mind, and he just goes through the song and names states.
Oh.
But he doesn't name any state in the Midwest. It's just ridiculous. You had just all country, basically. There wasn't really a lot of great country music on the radio at that point. It just the bottom fell out of that. As far as rock music, or what was being called rock, you had Nickelback still putting out stuff. You had Hinder, this group called Hinder, with this date rape song called Lips of an Angel. Oh, I love you with the lips! You got the lips of an angel! Now, dude, that's real beautiful, man.
You're frightening
that's sweet.
me.
That's the way he sang it.
Kind of frightened me too.
It was like exactly. Is this the year that Buck Cherry came back? Like somebody asked for that and had "You're a crazy bitch, but you fuck so good, I'm on top of it."
Was that year?
I think that was that year.
Yeah. They should have never been here to begin with.
You had all of these, as if Blink 182 wasn't bad enough, and it's probably just because I was too old for Blink 182 when they came out. But they're not bad enough, so we need 16 different Blink 182 wannabes, like the All American Rejects and Bowling for Soup, and all these groups with numbers in their name. It's like just
Bowling for Soup.
Yes, I mean enough with this pop punk. Those are 2 words that don't go together. That's not a thing. Pop punk.
Yeah, kind of. It can.
That's every pop punk song right there.
Green Day is pop punk.
Oh, Green Day is pop. I mean, he's considered punk because he puts on a fake British voice and sounds like he's from 1978, but that's just pop rock music. Do you have the time? No, I don't have the time, dude. I got the time to listen to the Damned and the Saints and the, Ramones. I don't have the time for this bullshit.
Yeah.
And then we get into pop music. This fucking Bad Day song from Daniel Powder. Now, I had to watch American Idol for work a lot. And how cynical is it that every time somebody got thrown off the show, they would play the same song? The same song every time. Like, okay, yeah, their dreams are dashed. They're going home. Their whole, life is ruined for the moment. Hit the button, play the song. Boom, boom, you had a bad day. You take it one day. Every time. It was like, no wonder everybody is so cynical and hates everybody now and doesn't believe. Because of that song, it just gets played every time somebody went home, and it's terrible. And then they replaced it like 2 years later with a Chris Daughtry song or something. But you had that. You had I'm Bringing Sexy Back from Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Dude, if you're going to do an R&B song and you're white, don't say shit like "Whip Me, I Want to Be Your Slave." That's not going to work for me. That's not funny. That's not cute.
He's just saying all about the whole S&M thing.
That's not a
It's
sleigh.
in my workout. It's in my
I don't know
workout.
about that.
My workout thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll let you whip me if I misbehave. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
total SE.
Uh-huh. Black Eyed Peas, My Humps. This is the quintessential
Oh.
grown-ass woman singing like a little 8-year-old girl. I mean, what a song for creeps. My humps, my
lovely lady
check
love.
it
God.
out.
No, stop.
How old does she sound? She's sounding like she's trying to sound like she's 10 years old. Like that lollipop, like a little girl with a lollipop going, "Did you want to touch my
Like
breast?
me
So
with a
bad,
lollipop?
my friendly, lovely baby." And what the hell are
I'm
they
trying
calling?
not to smoke.
Who the fuck is calling breast lumps? Isn't that like a
Fergie.
breast cancer thing?
Yeah, that is pretty.
That's ridiculous. I mean, this is where we are in 2006. This is
It's a
why I didn't
terrible
bother
song.
listening to anything. It's
Yeah.
because I just wanted to go home and watch movies or something, or do puzzles, or read a book or something, or
I was drinking a lot of martinis.
learn how to mend socks or some shit. I didn't want to learn. I didn't want to listen to fucking music. But I've got this reoccurring theme every once in a while where I have a "so bad it was good," like an ironic song, and that this year goes to Keith Urban. "Tonight I Want to Cry." This was a song where, yeah, exactly. Even the title, "Tonight I Want to Cry." And we made fun of this song so much at the station I was at. It's basically this song, it's a piano ballad, and the melody goes, da na 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 na, which is a total other song, but I can't think of what other song it is. Na 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 na. But anyway, that's the melody. And he's singing about, like, I don't know. I've got pictures laid out. Maybe it would help if I played a sad song. Like, he wants to cry. Tonight, I want to cry.
Okay.
It's my thought that I thought that crying was something you did when you were overcome with emotion. It's not something you necessarily set aside time for. How pitiful. It's like, yeah, it's terrible. And, he's a nice guy. He was nice enough to give me an interview, and I joked around with him and whatever, and he had some other songs he was more tolerable, one of the more tolerable people on the radio, on country radio, but that song was just terrible, and we just made fun of it all the time. It's like, are you going to be at the remote broadcast tonight? No, I think tonight I just want to cry.
Is that the guy who's married to Nicole Kidman?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Congratulations, you just won the Illinois $44 million lottery. Oh, no, tonight I wanted to cry. There was a guy, we used to go to this bar. This guy would do karaoke and would do this song all the time.
Oh,
and
God.
it's a basic piano song. Keith Urban sings it pretty straightforwardly. It's a ballad. It's sad, whatever. It's pitiful. And this guy would fill in all the spaces where there wasn't someone singing, like when you're supposed to take a breath. He would fill in all the spaces with, I mean, just really over the top shit. And every single time he did it. And this one time I was sitting next to this little guy, this little tiny guy with the, the frosted tips and we call them twinks. Sitting next to this guy, I didn't know who he was. And he's just looking at him going, and I'm thinking, wow, this dude is really into this. And suddenly, like 3/4 of the way through, he just turns around to me, doesn't know me at all, and goes, "Is this fucking guy for real?" And I'm just like, oh my God, thank you. So I have all these.
Nothing for real. It's karaoke.
I mean, I've never seen somebody take a song and just add all of this. I don't know. Maybe there's a High School Musical. What was the big show? Glee. Maybe there's a Glee version where they do that. But
Maybe.
like he would just be like, "Oh, tonight I want to cry. Oh, and I don't want to." Normally, where there's silence, in this where the person is not singing. Anyway, thanks for the laughs, Keith Urban. Thanks for the ironic laughs. Your song is hilarious. Obviously, it's not supposed to be, but so bad. It's like Jesus. What was that? Me and Dear Mr. Jesus, same thing.
Oh, dear Mr. Jesus.
Unintentional humor. That's my bottoms.
Wow.
Keith Urban, "Tonight I Want to Cry."
You're making me want to cry.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm already crying.
I don't have very many bottoms, but there was something, we also talk about events. Or that we can talk about events. And this would
Do whatever we want.
Yeah, this would have gone with tops, but because I don't have much for bottoms, I thought I would mention this too. In 2006, the film came out, The U.S. versus John Lennon, And I remember going to see that. I was living in Holland, Michigan at the time, working for the newspaper there. That was a combination reporter and editor at the paper, managing editor. And so this is close to Grand Rapids, Michigan. So if you know anything about conservative Republican politics, Holland, Michigan, and Grand Rapids, Michigan, this is the stomping grounds of Betsy DeVos, Hope College. Just it's the only place that can be legitimately called the conservative Vatican, other than Holland, Michigan, and that area of Michigan. It would be Colorado Springs, Colorado. That's the conservative Vatican of the whole evangelical movement. But their summer home is in Holland, I guess you could say. And so I went to Grand Rapids to see this film, and it's a really good documentary that kind of does an overview of Lenin's life, but the focus is on the effort to get him deported because of a minor marijuana charge, and because he was considered a persona non grata because of his view on the war, the Vietnam War. Really, it was a well done film. But here I am in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and it was a small theater to begin with. But maybe there's a dozen of us watching the film. I mean, this is the area, the type of climate that's going on there. And I remember talking to one of the door people at the Dunes one night, speaking to him about, I just saw this film and it was a really good film. And he mentioned, so John Lennon, wasn't he with the Rolling Stones? And
Yes.
He was. You say yes, he was.
He was in the Rock and Roll Circus.
He was the drummer.
No, he played the tambourine.
So, but the only bottoms I really have are they're musical artists, they're bands, not songs, and they've already been mentioned. Nickelback, Fall Out Boy. I mean, Jesus, anything that they fucking did. And Rascal Flatts, that Life is a Highway. I mean,
it's crap.
Give us all a break.
You should hear their original songs. You think their remake is bad? Listen to the stuff that they call their own. My wish for you is
I don't.
Shut the fuck up is my wish.
It didn't come true.
Most of the single material I was listening to at that time was at the Dunes. I was listening to all the dance mixes and things like that. I wasn't listening to the radio. I didn't have TV, so I wasn't watching MTV or anything like that. I really don't know. But I remember, sometimes you'd be in a mall or some other place, and the radio would be playing, and that bullshit would be on the radio.
Hi, Kitty.
Hi, Craig.
Kitty.
Did you hang out at the Dunes a lot?
Well, living in Holland, it's only like a 10-minute drive.
If I was living in Holland, I'd have better things to do than go to a movie. I'll tell you that.
Friends who actually live in Saugatuck. You might know them. I think they live there in the
I would go and hang out in Saugatuck a lot. I used to love going to the Butler and have the outdoor bar and sit there and drink those blue lemonades or whatever.
What were they?
Oh my God, those.
Yeah. And we talked about everyday people, the little cafe bar,
and the
great
Blue Frog.
Everyday people, every day. No, I was just singing.
Great.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, it's time for Craig's bottoms. We're just rolling right through this.
It's time for my bottoms. Well, first off, I have to say, anything Jessica Simpson, anything Nick Lachey, anything Hinder, and anything fucking Rascal Flatts go straight to hell. Okay.
I have never heard a Rascal Flatts song.
You're lucky.
Feel
lucky. You should do. Which I should put that in the playlist. What you really should do is watch a video so you get the visual of them too.
Oh my! Of that guy who looks like his face looks like he was
I'm
stung
thinking
by
mullet.
like 100 bees.
He
'Cause
looks
it's just
constipated.
and he's puffy and looks
Well,
like he was attacked by bees. Yeah,
I'm gonna write this down. He was attacked by bees. I'm
That's
writing this
what he
down.
I
looks
say
like.
constipated.
A
Constipated.
constipated person that just got stung by a pack of bees. All right.
But his last name, remember, his last name is Laveau, and he chose
Oh,
that
yeah.
last name because of Levox on the board slide.
Oh, is
to
that
sound
the guy?
like-
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, and it means
I
lead
wrote
vocals.
down on my homework is to actually watch a Rascal Flatts video, and I also put down the Prince.
Maybe
record
Robert will add
and
one to the
ta-da.
playlist.
Yeah, I haven't done anything with that playlist. I should add one to that.
Work it on out. Work it on out. Yeah, there was some crap that year. I have to second that emotion or motion or whatever you want to call on fucking Daniel Powder with his motherfucking bad day, because you want me to have a bad day, make me hear that terrible piece of shit. Cause you had a bad day and you're stupid son of a bitch. Shut the fuck
Well, they
up.
really
Daniel Powder.
wore it out,
And-
and it's like, I don't care how good the song is. You can't
Yeah.
take a song about having a bad day and make it some kind of
It was
a
never
sound
good.
cue, basically.
It was everywhere. It was everywhere. You walk into grocery stores and you'd hear it.
I mean,
Awful.
it's like hearing like a game show or something where somebody, instead of hearing do 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 do, you hear an entire song. It's like, what the hell? Do 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 boo.
And now all the people who hear that and have a bad day all own guns.
Taking one down.
Mm-hmm. All right, so T-Pain, who brought, we Cher did her little auto tune, and that was fine. But now you have a rapper that is every single song he does is auto tune, and I've actually heard him sing, and he actually can. He's one of the weird ones. He can actually sing. He actually
Right, it seems really
has-
well. Was it the Masked Singer?
Yeah, he was on The Masked Singer.
Right.
Yeah, he actually has a really beautiful voice. And then he released an album like right after that and did auto-tune again. I'm like, dude,
Right.
you proved that you have a good voice. But he has a terrible song that came out that year with his auto-tune, and I'm in auto-tune hell and I don't want to hear it. I'm in love with a stripper. Damn, little mama, you thick as hell. He is talking about her being up on that Poland. And I'm like, Poland? She's on the Poland? What? He's in love with the stripper, and he is in love with that stripper right in front of his girlfriend. Watch the music video. He's like having a conversation with girlfriend. Hey, girlfriend, you so beautiful, you so thick, you so fine. And then he's the stripper who's got her box of money because she's a stripper, so she got lots of money. Of course, she's going to be carrying boxes of dollar
I
bills.
always thought that when you put money in a stripper's box, it's not a literal box.
It was
right?
it was a literal box. Yeah, she had her U-Haul boxes full of dollar bills. Yeah, because she was moving in next door to T-Pain and his lovely lady, Bubba Sparks. Bubba Sparks was a white, rather large rapper. I call him like a white trash redneck rapper, and he had the big hit Miss New Booty. I found you, Miss New Booty, 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 rock everywhere, booty, 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 booty. The video, he is selling all the women in the audience a new booty, and it's terrible.
Trash tracks.
Yes, I love me that song. No, I don't. Oh, Bubba Sparks. I'm glad he disappeared. I think he disappeared. I haven't heard about him for a while.
I've never heard
But
of him.
the worst, this song, and his name is Young Jock, Y-U-N-G, I believe, J-O-C, because nobody can spell correctly. It's a song called I Know You See It. And it's more, there's the strippers, there's stripper poles. I'm going to be getting me some strippers, because apparently strippers were in high demand in songs in 2006.
And this is
There
about
was
the
a-
time they put the stripper pole in at the country bar we went to all the time.
Oh, I wish I could go to a country bar with
Seriously,
a
they
stripper
took
pole.
out the bull, the riding bull,
Put a stripper pole
and put up a stripper pole.
in a country bar.
Yeah.
That's appropriate.
Because country is always like 5 years later than pop. Anything that's pop is comes in 5 years to country. That's all country is pop 5 years later. Honky tonk badonkadonk.
Oh God, that's
Badonkadonk.
Oh, I hate it so much. All right, so
Buddy.
I am not lying to you when I tell you this line from this song called "I Know You See It" by the Young Jock. She chewing on the dick like a piece of bubble yum.
Ouch.
Who wants their dick chewed on like a piece of bubble yum?
No, that's a no. I don't.
And
even
why is that a line?
I don't even like that scraping. No.
Why is that
I'm
a
gonna have to
line?
open a little wider than that.
Yeah. Why is that a line in song? And I'm just imagining this stripper like, and then she's blowing bubbles after she chews on. She's chewing his dick off, and then she's blowing bubbles with it. Because if you're
maybe Phoenix isn't all that bad.
Wow.
Yeah,
Suddenly
check out Young
Keith
Jock.
Urban.
Don't be beguiled.
So there you
by
have
how
it.
Bad things are.
Wow.
The biggest piece of shit from 2006. Don't be chewing on dick like bubble yum.
No,
is that
don't.
like eat a bowl
Maybe
of
it's a
dicks?
public service.
No, I got my spoon and my fork, my knife. I got me a bowl of dicks. And I don't know. What the fuck? Chewing on a dick like bubble yum? Ow.
I mean, even Frank Zappa limited it to the Jones Crusher, just rubbing it till it was just a nub.
What?
Oh my God.
Who is rubbing what till it's enough?
The Jones Crusher.
I don't know what that is.
So, it's time to pick what year we're going to be doing
Oh,
next.
I hope it's 2007.
Yeah, that'll be great.
But I think it's interesting. I mean, I know it's not the greatest year, but
I think
we
you
all
had the
talked
best
about music.
You did.
Music. Well, no, I think we all did. We talked about music that we normally wouldn't talk about. I mean, sure,
right,
1971 is great, obviously. But, it's interesting to talk about music, that people don't necessarily know about. Or I learned something today.
Yeah, I felt like I walked into a foreign language class or something.
I like what you did. I like your
all these bands.
I like that.
I thought that was really good.
I don't know if it's better than 2006, but...
Oh, shit.
1948.
No, because we don't have anything in the 40s. Oh. Remember, we did 50s. But
Hank Williams. I saw the light.
1996.
Pass. Wow. Didn't we already do that? I feel like we've done 1996.
No,
we did
95,
95, I think.
And we probably did 97.
Do you want me to? No, we didn't. But do you want me to pull another one?
No, I'm sure that Richard is very excited to do 1996 and would not want to
right.
I just grabbed a different one.
No, we have to do 1996.
No,
I'm just going to pass. Now it's
maybe you'll be surprised. Maybe you'll be surprised.
I was.
Wow.
Well, okay. No.
I feel like
It's
I might have
2006's
some good
older
shit
brother.
in 96.
So now it's time for our album review.
Okay.
And now we're going back to 1967.
Yeah.
And it's a band from the UK who has a name of a band in the US and a band from Mexico, and I think another band as well.
We did 1994.
And they are Kaleidoscope, and here is their album, and I have this on CD because the album is in the triple figures, no matter what version you get.
Yes, it is.
Hopefully one day I will get the orange vinyl autographed version, which is actually one of the cheaper ones. They are Kaleidoscope. The album is called Tangerine Dream.
And I'm going first.
Yes.
First.
I love psychedelic music like this. It makes me happy. It puts me in a good mood. And I love discovering music because there was so many bands, and just doing stuff in their garage and in their basement, and so much stuff didn't get released, or just didn't get noticed. And this didn't get noticed, I'm assuming. And
no, it was only one release in the U. It never even got it released in the U.S. at that time.
And and a lot of British psych definitely didn't get noticed in the U.S. And I have a terrific collection of like just psych bands that nobody's ever heard of, and I love those records. They're just fun, and like I said, they make me happy. This record's no different. I've never heard this. I never heard this band. The opening, well, the first time I put it on, the opening song, Kaleidoscope. I took a drink every time they said Kaleidoscope, so I only made it
You
to
were
the
wasted.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
wasted by the end of the song, so I actually had to start over the next day. I got up to like 28 times, I think they said the word Kaleidoscope. It could be more, but I was drunk.
I believe Craig will have a accurate count for us.
Pretty damn
notebook.
accurate.
It's a fun song though, and it kicks off the album in a really good way. It's just got a good groove. I enjoy it. The next song, Please Excuse Me. I listened to that song like 3 times,
Please
trying to
excuse
figure.
my face.
I was listening to it, and I could not figure out what song it reminded me of, and it was driving me crazy. I want to say it reminded me a little bit of "Play with Fire" by the Rolling Stones. There was something in the song that just reminded me of that. It's a great song. It's a good song. I really liked it. Dive Into Yesterday, the next song, is my favorite song on the record. I love it. I thought A+, my favorite. I love that guitar work. I just thought the guitar effects that they did, and it's a longer song. I think it's like over 6 minutes. Really, really enjoyed it. That's definitely my favorite song on the record. Mr. Small Watch, quirky, fun. Every psychedelic record has a song like this on it. Not my favorite, but it's fun. Flight from Ashia, cool, dreamy, kind of atmospheric song. I really like that. The next song, The Murder of Louis Tolini. I really like that song, and I didn't do the research on what that song is about. I figured Richard would do that because he likes doing stuff like that. I really enjoyed it. It's a good song. The next song, Further Reflections, another. I put A+ next to it. I really, really like the dreaminess, folky, psychedelic. Holiday Maker is a fun song. Also quirky, a little, but still really good. I enjoyed that. A Lesson Perhaps, the next song. It was all right.
I warned everyone about that one last, if you remember.
I don't remember.
I remember. I remember.
And then the last song, Sky Children, my second favorite song on the record. I really, really, really like that song. And I just love discovering records like this. Just 60s psychedelic that nobody knew about. There's so much of it out there, and there's a lot of great comps. I think Nuggets did some comps. And what's the comp I have?
Oh.
I have a Psych in the 60s, and they actually go from state to state.
Yeah,
I should showcase that. It's called Psych in the 60s. I forget who put it together. It wasn't Nuggets, but they do like Psych in the 60s. They'll do like 65 Texas. They'll do Michigan.
Right, yeah.
I
have the Illinois one.
Yeah, the Illinois one
is on there. Is on Nuggets.
Is that Nuggets? I stumbled into I walked into a record store once, and they had like 20 of them for like $3 each.
Oh shit!
I grabbed them all. I grabbed every single one, and they were all in mint condition. They were in great shape. I grabbed every single
CDs?
one. I have them all on vinyl. I should pull
wow.
them up. They're great. Oh, they're fantastic. They sound
They're not $3
okay.
anymore.
No, they're not. Well, they weren't then. I went home and I looked on Discogs. Some of them are going for $50.
Wow.
It's crazy. I should pull that little. Where those? Oh, here they are. Here, let me do that real quick.
Nuggets on vinyl. So.
Is this it? Where did I put those?
As my mother used to say, if they were up your butt and burning, you'd know.
I'll just pull a couple of them. They're really, really cool.
Well, your mother was
true,
very
right?
hippie, wasn't she?
Yeah, it's true though. If something was up your butt and burning, would you not know it was there?
It was Pebbles. It was Pebbles that did these.
Girlfriend.
Oh, I'm
like,
talking about
is-
these. So there's 2 series of these because they have these as well.
Oh, I've seen those pebbles.
yeah.
things.
I have that, yeah. This is high in the 60s, high in the mid 60s. This is volume 13. This is Texas, and then there's one. This one is the Northwest. This one's called High in the Mid '60s Riot on Sunset Strip. This one, Teenage Rebellion. This one is Volume 1 or Volume 5, Michigan, and it's just like psychedelic garage bands. It's just a fun series, and yeah, not cheap. And when I lucked out, but I think there's like 40 of them in the series, but I only got like 20. But
Wow.
I love discovering music like this. I'll end this. I thought this was terrific, and I would absolutely love to own it on vinyl, but it's not going to happen. I mean,
Good,
I think
because I was afraid that people would want to own this, and then I wouldn't get mine if it ever popped back on Discogs.
I mean, what did I see? 175 or something? Maybe even more. I thought
Mine's not even available. The one that I wanted is no longer no one's selling it.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what it would be.
It's not going to happen. But
the original UK one that's outrageous. That's like $700 for one with no cover. Not craziness.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna I'm gonna give it 4 rainbows. I had a terrific time listening to this, and it was great.
And now it's Craig's turn.
Craig.
It's my turn.
It'll also be Craig's turn to reveal his own album after we're done here.
That is a true statement.
Yeah.
Okay, so because I did a lot of driving this last week, so I got to listen to this in the car. And then I listened to it at home because I needed to be able to write notes. And yes, Kaleidoscope, 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 something like that. But if my calculations are correct, which they're probably off by a little bit because there's times where they don't say the full word, but I tried not. I only counted that as one time. 42 is what I came.
Oh my God.
So I do. I mean, I was just very distracted by Kaleidoscope, whatever. But they did say daunting, and I do love a song that says daunting in it. So I do enjoy daunting being used. Please excuse my face. I'm thinking that is going to be my new motto. Like when anybody's like blah blah blah, and I'll be like, just please excuse my face, because we all know that I cannot hide anything on this face. If I'm disgusted by you, you're going to see it here. So that is my new, okay, please excuse my face. And then I feel dead. I'll hide myself away. That was my favorite song. Of course, it's pathetic. And of course, Craig's going to love it. Sad. I'm blushing. I'm smiling through the tears. Please excuse my face. Oh God, Craig loves it because it's depressing and miserable. And so of course it's my jam. Dive into yesterday. I wrote groovy. I was imagining Shakespeare with his roses in his hair. I was like, I was tiptoeing through the tulips. I don't know. The goldfish swimming in the air. I was imagining all of this as I was listening to it. And Shakespeare was like chasing the goldfish that were in the air and with his roses in his hair. And, Mr. Small, the watch repairer. Is repairer a word? Because it does not sound like correct English. The repairer man. And I questioned, is that a word? Is that a penny whistle at the beginning? Woo! I don't know.
I think so, yeah.
I really enjoyed me some penny whistle there. Very nice use of the penny whistle. But I was really getting a Beatles vibe from that one. And there were la-las. And when you got some la-la-las in a song, I'm going to dig it. I didn't really write much. I didn't write anything about the next one, so maybe I just don't remember it. Poor Lewis. He was murdered. And he didn't mean to murder him, but he did.
No.
And he did. And all the pretty things are gone because he murdered Lewis. Poor Lewis. What did he do? What did he do to be murdered? Mm-hmm. I would like some Investigation Discovery Channel on why Lewis was murdered. because all the pretty things are gone. Further reflections in the room, percussion. I liked that one. He talks about a one-armed bandit. I couldn't help but think about a band that I really that has a one-armed bandit in their band, and I just won't say anymore. Nelly, oh Nelly, he loves Nelly. He's stalking Nelly, right? He's watching her. Things are going on there. There's a little toy piano going bing, 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 bing. It's fun. I didn't like the Holiday Maker song, those noisy kids and the beach sound. But the trumpets were really, those kids, I wanted them to shut up. But the trumpets, they were nice. Now, a lesson, perhaps. This might be the best song on the album. I'm lying. Less for what? It's like I wanted to I was driving, so I couldn't get in my bed and get my hot chocolate and be all snuggled up for Daddy to tell me a story about the Queen and the King, and then the King, he wants to have people, but then he's dead because there's flies everywhere, and I don't know. This poor guy, he had flies and he was dead, and and the last song I just said meh. I don't know. That's all it says in my nose is meh. But I did not hate this. This is 2 weeks in a row. I enjoyed weird ass guy from last week. Frank the Zappa. I enjoyed him. I enjoyed this. It was some fun stuff. So I'm gonna give these fellas 3.5 rainbows. And there you have it.
Wow, all right. Well, yeah, the first song when I started listening to this, Kaleidoscope. I'm like, I could hear very Baroque pop, psychedelic pop. That was, definitely in there. But my initial reaction is, what the fuck is this? I mean, it's just, and I'm glad, Robert, that you warned us ahead of time that's, kind of how it, it starts off. But it was, to me, it was too cheesy. Please excuse my face. Really, again, I'm kind of ambivalent about that one. It's a sad song. He's broke up and he can't control his face, So I kind of get that, but somehow there's still something about that song that it's kind of. But then dive into Yesterday. To me, that's when the album just clicked. That's when things really started going in the right direction. I just love this one line. Battalions in baby blue are bursting beige balloons. I am a sucker for alliteration. It is. I just love that whole stanza too about the water pistols are filled with lemonade. The jester and the goldfish have joined minds above the moon. Oh, please kiss the flowers, and you too will be saved. I mean, the whole atmosphere of the song is just so incredible. And I'm going, okay, now, I hope the rest of the album is like this. And it is. Mr. Small, the watch repair man. It's a sweet story, just a story, of this guy on the street that, he just fixed watches, and then he dies, but everybody comes out, for him. Nobody goes to his shop on Sunday. Why? Because they're laying him in his glass coffin or whatever. It's just this homage to, in kind of a Beatles way, that Penny Lane could have been, but they, succeed a little bit, well, a lot better with that. Flight from Ashia, or Ashia, or whatever. Apparently, that was their first single that got released, and it's about a plane crash, which was weird because I don't know, it just psychedelic music, and then you've got these people, what binds them together? Well, they're all in a plane crash. The murder of Louis Talani. The song itself, what I really liked was the guitar strumming, that acoustic guitar strumming, especially toward the end. I just really liked what they were doing with that. Dear Nellie Goodrich, yeah, it was a simple, very heartfelt song, writing this letter, and it brushes up against being creepy, but it doesn't go all the way.
It's close.
It gets close.
It's
But
close.
but
Watch out,
but he's
Nelly.
writing a letter to this person, so I don't think he's stalking her.
Well, he's watching her go by the window every day, or whatever the hell he said. He said something. I
Well,
watch you on the
if you're
street.
if you're enamored with somebody and they walk by your window every day, that's and perhaps you're a shy person, and you know, but
Or
anyway,
he's stalking
he
her
wrote
on
a letter.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I
Holiday
never
Maker,
did.
I like that song. I just thought it was a fun song, and going to the beach and all that.
Kids were so noisy.
Yeah.
They were
Uh,
shut up, kids.
but kids are life. Kids are life, and so yeah. A lesson, perhaps. I love the guitar throughout that song. The spoken word, the poem, had a lot of potential, but I kind of, it was okay. But the final song, "The Sky Children," oh, that is such a beautiful ending to the album. I
Yeah, I
really,
thought so
really
too.
love that. But I got emotional listening to that. When I listened to the album, for the first run through, after I got past the first two tracks, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is good. I like this. And then when I listened for some follow up listens, that's when the Sky Children really just really grabbed me. I love songs that talk about childhood innocence and the desire to, as we progress, because it's a life story. At the end of the song, the children are no longer children, but they're being asked to remember their perception of the world, their wonder of the world, to hold on to that. Because if they don't, then they're just going to become like all the other cynics in the world. And I love songs like that. I love songs that talk about losing, the passing from childhood into adulthood, even into adolescence at times. That loss of innocence and wonder. That's the key part, the wonder. All the wonder in that song, of all the places they visit and the mythological people that they see. Yeah, Sky Children, really wonderful song. I would give this 5 rainbows except for the first 2 songs. Which one? Yeah, and Dear Nellie Goodrich is a little iffy there, but definitely solid 4 rainbows for this.
Kaleidoscope.
Oh boy, yeah. Glad you counted all that, because I started to, and I got up to 28, and I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah, I meant to do that and then totally forgot. But yeah, this album has been, people talk about Grail albums, and this is really my only one. I mean, this is really the only album where, I would consider paying a lot more for this. I don't have another album like that. They have another album called Faintly Blowing, but I don't feel like I need to get that on a record and all that kind of thing. And there's a song on their other album that's called The Feathered Tiger that is really good too. I wish that was on this one instead of a couple of these tracks. But yeah, the Kaleidoscope song, with the exception of the word kaleidoscope being repeated, I just love the hard drumming throughout this whole thing. They're really just great drumming, and the whole point of the Kaleidoscope thing is that you're in life, you see all of these amazing colors of things. It's almost like you don't need drugs or whatever, because there's life is a kaleidoscope with all colorful people of different color, of literally different color people and their faces, and the different color cars going around in different and it does have the word vermilion in it. Craig mentioned a favorite word with daunting. Mine was vermilion. So yeah, that one. I mean, Kaleidoscope. I love that song. And it took me a couple of listens to realize, oh yeah, they are repeating their own name over and over again, aren't they? But yeah. But please excuse my face. The way that it goes from really optimistic, like life is beautiful. Look at all the colors you can see in life. right to this, this breakup song, and I can't hide my emotions. Don't look at me, please excuse my face. I'm sad because you're leaving. And then the dive into yesterday. I like you brought up the guitar thing. Yeah, that's a great part of that. But I love the way that, in retrospect, we are diving into yesterday, listening to something from 1967. But of course, when they're recording it, it's not yesterday. So it's kind of got this wild. I don't know if it's a paradox or what, but where you're diving into yesterday, hearing a song called "Dive Into Yesterday." The Watch Repairer, man, I thought, yeah, same as Richard. It's a nice little. It's like the opposite of Eleanor Rigby, basically. Flight from Ashia. It has all of these different, like I said, you start with this optimistic, colorful song. You go into sadness, breaking up. You go into this nice little song about this man's simple little life, and now it's over, and everybody's paying their respects. To this horror song, to this like terrifying song of being in a plane crash. I'm assuming everybody's high or something, or they're all on, because they mentioned something like that. And so the plane is going to crash, and no one will ever know why, because we're all going to die, and nobody's going to be alive to tell the story. No one will ever know what happened. No one ever. It's just horrifying. And to have that all go by, and we're only on song 4, and just all of these, but it's still seamless. It still has this really nice thread of music that goes along with all these different emotions that the song puts out. Another favorite is the further reflections in the room of percussion, just because it's a catchy song. What's another great one? The Holiday Maker sounds completely different than all the other songs. It sounds like it's from a different session, like from a completely different. It sounds like a monophonic 45. The instruments are different. It has those horns. Like Craig was saying, it has these kids, and it's totally monophonic. That's why it's so noisy, and everything is just bleeding over itself. No other song on there sounds like that. So it's kind of like disjointing. Like, where did this come from? It sounds like a commercial for some sort of a holiday getaway or whatever, just blasting out of a tiny speaker on a TV or something like that. But it really is a nice change, and I'm skipping songs because we've talked about them 3 times at this point. But the Sky Children is just 8 minutes, and it's so like you think it's like a Rolling Stone from Bob Dylan. You think it's wrapping up, and then you love it, and he comes back again for another verse. And I just love the way that this song does that. Doom 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 doom, and then the children keep going on these different magical places. And I usually am way too cynical for a lot of this stuff, but these guys do all of this stuff so well, and you totally, at least I do, totally believe their wonderment, and especially the song "The Sky Children." It's really, you've got to be really good to do a song like that, and I think these guys are. Otherwise, it's going to come off as contrived and cheesy. And whatever, and it's going to come off like some, like, I don't know who, whatever, Captain and Tennille thing or something, singing about muskrat love or something. But these guys really pull it off, and that's why it's my only real grail, I guess you'd call it, album. So obviously I would give it 5 rainbows, except for the the spoken word thing. But I don't really think that there's such a thing as a perfect. I mean, every album. Meet the Beatles has "Till There Was You." I mean, every album is going to have. "Fly Like an Eagle" has the remake of "You Send Me." Every album is going to have, no matter how perfect it is going to have one song. And like Richard said, it really could have been something, but it didn't really. What the lesson is to not listen to this, to skip over this track. You think they're going to make some poignant thing about a king and not caring more about power and nothing really happens.
He's dead with the flies.
Yeah. So
the flies
I give it obviously 5 rainbows.
And did Richard actually tell us what his number
4.
was? He said it could have been.
I forgot to mention about the Room of Percussion. That song made me think of My Back Pages in some of the ways that it was constructed. And what was interesting when I started thinking about how the Byrds covered that song, at that time. But to me, Kaleidoscope, they wrote their own song. They took the Dylan inspiration and put it musically to their own song, which I thought was really...
That's another great thing about this album. 1967 pop psych, and there's no Beatles cover. That's hard to find.
And the influence of the Byrds is all over this. You can hear the Byrds just.
Really?
I heard a lot of early.
I definitely heard it.
I heard a lot of early Sid Barrett. I heard a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah, I heard
of,
some Sid Barrett. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
but I hear the influence. They're not being reductive. They are definitely doing their own thing and doing it really, really well.
Well, it's 1967, so they couldn't really be imitating Sid Barrett that much because he would be right there at the same.
Yeah, he's a contemporary,
Yeah.
you know.
He's a contemporary. Yeah. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed this. I wish it wasn't. Maybe Record Store Day will reissue it.
Again, why are we putting out picture discs and shitty
Reissues?
concerts that sound like they were recorded on reruns tape recorder in his pocket? Nobody gets that reference.
Quick
Okay.
example of something that should be reissued. Yep.
What's happening when Rerun went to bootleg the Doobie Brothers? Anyway.
I got it.
Comment section. Somebody remembers that episode. Anyway, that's what I saw. Why are we putting out stuff like this again? And the whole band got together and approved the reissue. They're still around. At least three of them are, I think. Maybe one of them has passed away. They all autographed like 500 of them. There was a bonus 7-inch single. I mean, where is the stuff like that? Where's the reissue of I could name 20 psychedelic albums that need reissues. I could name 20
at least.
funk soul albums from the 70s that need reissues.
But you know,
I'm sure Craig and you guys and Mike and Richard could name 20 albums from 2006 that need 2023 reissues. I can't name any of those. But, you know, and here we are doing, 10-inch singles and 3-inch singles on toy record players. And
in 1967 or that era, though, there were very few bands who had complete control over their catalog, their publishing rights and everything. The record companies really were in control, and it screwed a lot of bands with that. So that might be a reason why there are, no Record Store Day reissues.
Well, some of these things have, like this one had been released again in 2011, but it was limited to like 1,000 copies or so. Just do it again.
Yeah,
just do it again.
Make it, I guess, or you can't make it Tangerine vinyl again. Make it, I don't know, splatter vinyl or something. Whatever.
Yeah.
I would definitely get it on vinyl for sure. I'll look for it on CD, But
well, this is the CD that I have. I keep turning the book around, and this is a great CD because it puts it's a 2 CD set, and it is both albums and then a bunch of bonus tracks. So it's like a full 2 80-minute long CDs, and it wasn't really that expensive or whatever. At least it wasn't 10 years ago. Maybe,
They only made 2 albums?
Yeah, this one and Faintly Blowing, which is one of the ones I showed last week with the cat.
Right.
Kitty cat. Yeah, kitty.
But yeah, check out the Feathered Tiger from that album. Anyway, now it's time to find out what we'll be listening to this week and reviewing next week.
Yeah, but also your grand total of rainbows for that though was 16 and a half, in case anybody cared. But I mean, I care. You all care, right?
We all care.
Yeah. We all care. We all.
Are you also keeping track
I counted
of like
5.
a ranking of like what are the top 5 albums?
What
are the top 5 albums that we've rated?
Stopped with that.
I will go back. I will go back. I still need to update my thing on my computer.
I don't know where mine went.
I haven't put in like the last 4 or 5 on there, but
I think some awful album was like the top 1, so I just stopped. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
It's not awful, but I don't, and it wasn't my. Shut up, Robert Fitton. I've got it.
The one with the chanting sample.
That was not. No, there's still albums above that. It was like tied with something.
It wasn't. Beatboxing.
There was no beatboxing in it, but thank you. There should have been. All right, so from
91.
All right, and there are real drummers in this album I'm going to present to you. Real drummers, okay? Real drummers, Robert Fitton. and
Please.
real banjo and real guitar and real lots of good stuff. So we are going to be listening from 2017. This is the Secret Sisters with You Don't Own Me Anymore. And this is my autograph copy, by the way. But
what?
I will explain more about the Secret Sisters. Well, I know you have Rascal Flatts. I have this. I believe this is their grandmother.
That would probably be worth more to most people, anyway.
Yeah.
The
Rascal Flatts, yeah.
No, you'd want to wipe this off. Like, what's all over this CD?
Yeah, what is that on there? Yeah.
You won't be able to sell this with all that marker on it.
So, Secret Sisters, this is their third album.
What year?
All right.
2017.
Oh. Yay.
You don't own me anymore.
You don't own me anymore.
Don't tell me what to do.
You don't
tell me
own me.
Right. Please, when I go out with you, don't put me on display.
Don't put me on display. Mm-hmm.
No.
You don't own me. That's my favorite Leslie Gore song.
Yeah, mine too.
And don't tell me
Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to say. Please, when I go out with you, please don't put me on display.
Don't put
I'm
me
young,
on
I love to be
display.
young.
I love how
I'm
it's
I
the
love to be
theme
loved.
song for the.
Just let me be myself. That's all I ask of you. You don't own
First
me.
Wives Club.
the First Wives.
First
Club.
Wives Club.
That's a great film.
Yeah, it is.
There's a TV series of that, apparently.
Oh, well, that would be ruining it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that wraps up 2006 and our review of Kaleidoscope's Tangerine Dream. Join us next time when we listening to this or reviewing the Secret Sisters and You Don't Own Me Anymore, and reviewing the tops and bottoms of 1996.
I'm excited.
I think I can find some gems. I believe in me.
Can anybody name an album from 1996 without thinking? Or without without thinking?
No, because it was so long ago.
Not at the top.
Yeah, it would be.
I want to say Load from Metallica. Wasn't that 96?
I'm trying to remember where I was
Maybe.
in 96.
No, I'm not gonna look. So.
96 would have been the year after One Hot Minute from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I think that was actually 95. 96.
Oh, I just moved back to Michigan, so I was kind of out of the loop with music. So
Is that Slang from Def Leppard?
was 9 Inch Nails 96?
Maybe.
Yeah.
That was like 98.
94 was Downward Spiral.
Yeah, 94.
that was
94
close.
was definitely Downward Spiral. The Fragile was, I think, more like 98.
98 or 99.
99, yeah. 96.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Was that Aerosmith 9 Lives?
Ugh.
Okay, I'm cheating. I'm looking, so I found a couple that all right.
Yeah. Well, that'll be
I'm
fun.
sure
Once
there's
we are
questions.
the Vinyl Community Guncles. Thank you so much for
Community?
watching.
Come on in.
How did we do an hour and a half of it? We used to do hour and 15-minute shows, and it's like an hour and a half, and anyway.
We're having
You'll be
fun.
okay.
So you see this whole paranoia about doing the the 2000s, and hey, we can
Right.
make it. We can do it.
Paranoia. I don't think the year was going to attack me. I'm Robert Fithen, along
Mike.
with
It's not.
the year is
Richard
talking
and
about me.
Calvin Wazoo.
Craig's Final Plethora. Me.
You've upset the flowers.
Mike get up
Flowers.
tunes.
Thank you so much for watching. Please comment, especially on any of those albums I mentioned too. What one should I avoid? Which one should I definitely listen to? Also, the na 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 na. What melody is that? That Tonight I Want to Cry rips off. Anybody else have any questions that they want answered in the comment section? Thank you so much again for watching. We'll see you again next time. Actually, you'll see us.
Yeah.
Actually, you'll see a video facsimile of us. Digital.
Yeah.
But watch anyway. We can't do analog panel shows.